What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my channel, and today let's go for another round of the WCR Racing League, as today we are ready for, or about to get ready for the start of the Belgium Grand Prix. So with no further delays, everyone is getting ready in the lobby for the start of qualifying, and we are about to get ready for our track presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are at the Ardennes region at the glorious circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps. Despite this not being the mythical 14 kilometers layout that was used until 1983, the current layout with 20 corners and just over 7 kilometers has been the stage of some of the most memorable races in F1 history. From Schumacher's amazing debut in qualifying in 1991, where he finished 7th with a Jordan, to Jordan's, speaking of that team, to Jordan's first ever win here in 98, with after a major collision wiping most of the track out in the first lap in a wet weather affected race. It was the first ever win for the team, and it was also its first one to finish, and also Schumi's championship winning race here in 2004. So through all that, we can know that Spa is synonymous with some amazing racing, which is always, of course, spiced up by its unpredictable weather. Everything can happen today, and you know what? It usually does, to quote Crofty. Now, in terms of the strategy, as you guys can see, we have the super soft, and medium tires at our disposal. And if everything stays dry, it's going to be a super soft to medium strategy, mostly used. I believe they are going to pit in lap 6. If they want to start, however, with the softs, they can pit at lap 10 to get a set of mediums and complete the race that way. So either way, it's a one-stop unless anyone suffers any sort of damage. I'm getting a message that it is going to be a wet race. I don't know if it's going to be a full wet race or just partially wet race, but that's what we are going to find out once we get under that section. You guys can probably start listening to some of the engines roaring on the game as we are into the lobby right now. But before that, before getting into the qualifying action, we are going to take a look at our drivers' championship. As you guys can see, we have Jensen leading the championship despite not taking part in the last race. He's back, and of course he has the aim to take a 4th win in this championship. He's followed by his own teammate Dahl with 48 points, only 5 more than Evil Kiwi, who in his first 2 races has gotten podium every single time. He finished 2nd place in his first race and got 1st place last time out at Hungary. Then we have Neudereit in the best of the Renaults with 37 points, 10 more than Overspeed. Sticer, the 2nd Renault, is in 6th with 24 points. Then we have Black Reversed in the best of the Force Indias with 22, followed by Bieluk, as Nagy Gary is the best of the reserve drivers in 9th place, as Haas closes the top 10 with New Chronicle Pug with 18 points to his name. Then you have Biff in 11th, Carpia in 12th, Rolls Royce in 13th, Videoton in 14th, Leglaf in 15th, Fish in 16th place with Chrysalis in 17th, Osgur in 18th, Double G in 19th, and with only 1 point, JJS 15 in 20th. Moving to the constructors, we have Williams leading with 123 points. They didn't score any points last time out in Hungary, so every team got a chance to catch up a bit. Renault is in 2nd with 61 points. Then we have Toro Rosso with 43, 5 more than Ferrari, as we have Alfa Romeo in 5th with 37 points, Force India in 6th with 24, followed by Haas in 7th with 18, Mercedes with 8 points, McLaren in 9th with 6 points, and Red Bull in 10th place, being the only team without any points so far. So after that, we can get ourselves going. Hey Neudereit, welcome to the chat. How are you doing? Hopefully you can have a good qualifying session today. Well, you guys can see in the chat, it's going to be heavy rain to light rain to dry, so the track is going to start wet for the race. And he's also saying that he's not really confident on this track. Well, hopefully, if he just maintains his nose out of problems, he can still contest for a top 5 spot in the championship, and of course still being the leader of the championship in terms of the inter-team rivalry with his teammate Tyser. Now, let's take a look at all this. Hopefully my Xbox controller is working. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just pressing random buttons to see if it was working. For some reason, only the trigger buttons are working. I'm going to unplug the controller, put it back in. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm going to put it back in, and if I can't make this work that way, I'll have to switch to the keyboard. But let me check real quick. So, spectator, and yeah, everything works now. Okay, everything is working fine. ALGS, welcome to the live stream. How are you guys doing? Again, I can see the chat, I can answer to you guys, but of course I'm going to be commentating over this. Now, moving to our championship. I'm sorry, I know I'm on the pause menu, but I had to change a couple things in my Windows, because stuff is not helping me today. Stuff isn't helping me today. But yeah, we are currently following Bieluk, as he finished 4th in Germany, finished 5th in Hungary. He's currently looking to improve on his track. He's one of the best drivers in this league. He just hasn't been able to get himself to the top 3 in any race. He hasn't gotten any podium finishes, unfortunately for him. We all know what he's capable of. If you guys have seen the previous races, he just hasn't been able to put one performance together and claim himself a podium or even a wheel. Hey Autosport, how are you doing, man? Okay, so let's take a look with him. He's about to get his lap, I believe. Let me get the details ready. And is already in the sector 3 as he's getting through Blanchemont. We have some yellow flags in the first sector. Evil Kiwi has gotten himself with the provisory pole with a 142.8 on the super softs. Overspeed is the best of the soft runners so far with a 144.1. He's finding himself in 7th place as Bielu crosses over the line. 145.2 gets himself in 11th place. I don't know if that was a full lap or if he is looking to improve that one. I don't know if he got his lap invalidated by going wide there after La Source. Yeah, I believe it's the corner's name. But let's see how he goes. He looks like he's going in hanger. I think he's giving it full beans, trying to post the second qualifying lap. He just got through Eau Rouge and getting DRS wide open in the approach to Les Combes. Let's see. Good entry, but yeah, that was cutting the lap. I'm sure he got invalidated through that one. I'm going to switch to another driver who's about to get himself a flying lap. So he's still in the second sector, but he's on his out lap as we are waiting for him to start his flying lap. You can take a look. Necronical Pug, he got himself his debut last time out in Hungary. I don't remember where he qualified, but he managed to get himself a very respectable 2nd place. He was only beaten by Evil Kiwi, so it's going to be interesting to see what Necronical Pug does here today, as the Polish driver, as the pole is going to be looking for his maiden win. Maybe his first pole around here as well. Took it a bit wide there. Of course, this game sometimes invalidates, even if you are on an out lap, it invalidates the lap you are in and the following lap. As Ice Kart retired. Oh my god, there was a crash between Black Reverse and Ice Kart, and both are out of the session. Jesus Christ, what the hell happened between those two? We just could see them parked at the exit of corner number 16, I believe that is. Either 16 or 15, maybe I'm wrong, but I believe I'm correct. As he's getting ready to start his flying lap. We're going on board with the Haas driver. He's going to look at about 100 meters away from Les Combes. Heavy braking zone going down through the gears. Some people take it in second. I preferably use it in first. Looks like the pole did the same. Now up through the gears. Yeah, this is not a DRS zone. He's getting flat out through Eau Rouge and Radion. Hopefully it doesn't extend the track too much Just you always try to straight line that section as much as you can, but sometimes being the apex of Raikkonen, being blind, sometimes you cut it a bit too much and get your lap invalidated. Once again, 100 meters away from corner number 5, I believe this is, for Lecombe, now getting down hill up to Rivage. This is a very technical braking zone. You have to downshift, brake, and of course turn at the same time, so it's very easy to lock up a tire and go wide through the corner with no name. A bit of a track extension there over the curb. Hopefully he didn't get invalidated, as we are now headed through the very fast Piron. He could have risked it a bit more on the entry, was a bit conservative with his speed on the entry. So the top guys usually do it a bit more aggressively, but no issues through there. They are now finishing sector 2. I don't know if he got invalidated there. That looked to me like he might have gotten that lap invalidated. Now out of turn 15. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this is turn 15. And it's going to be easily flat out through a Blanchimont. These two left-handers rather easy to make, rather quickly, and as you are side by side with a competitor. Now looking just before the 100 meter marker, second gear, clip the first apex and the second apex very nicely in that bus stop chicane, up through the gears once again, smooth on the power on the exit, and he gets himself 4th place with a 1:43.6, so almost a second back on Evil Kiwi, but nonetheless 4th place and a very respectable time from the Haas driver. Now, let's get ourselves to Noiderate. He who is the only driver from Singapore in this championship. I believe he's on a flying lap of his own about... Oh, that was very wide. What was that? That was Piron. So, again, you have to be aggressive through there, not that aggressive. Let me just check his ERS bar. It leads me to believe he was on an outlap, because he hasn't used this battery all that much. Considering we were at Piron, usually you use your battery a bit more than that. LGS, you today found out that you can't drive on a wheel. That's unfortunate. Of course, no one was born being a good driver in F1, so it takes practice, as every other skill you are going to have to acquire throughout your life. Moving back to the racing, or in this case to the qualifying, is about to start his second flying lap. No, he's actually aborting it. So yeah, looks like that was his flying lap. He aborts the lap. He got invalidated out of Piron, and he is into the pit lane. Now, let's take ourselves a look at... Wait, how the hell is Evil Kiwi with 142 with 0 laps on his tire? Oh no, this is a brand new set of tires. Okay, so Jensen, the championship leader, got himself 1st place. Zor is a debutee here today, and the French driver, I believe he's French, looking at my information. Yes, he is French. Gets himself in the Ferrari. Let me take a look. I believe he's in the Ferrari, right? Yes, he is in the Ferrari. Got himself 2nd place. Let's take a look at Evil Kiwi, who got the win last time around. And it looks like if he's not starting a flying lap, he's finishing one. So let's see how that goes. Hey, Icecar. No, I didn't see the crash. I didn't catch it, unfortunately. But let's see how the Czech driver of the Toro Rosso does here today. Now, as I was talking about something, I completely forgot what I was talking about, but that's how it goes. As Evil Kiwi gets himself 1:42.7, and look at the gap between Kiwi and Jensen. Jensen, he didn't take part of the race at Hungary, but every race he took a part of, he has won. So Jensen finally has a matching competition in both Evil Kiwi, and looks like Zor rather, is not a slouch either. Value is also another debutee here today. The Finn is going to be driving for the Red Bull team. Another of our debutees, we have Kawe. I'm going to say Kawe. Is also another Finn. He's driving for the McLaren instead of Double G, who had some issues with his wheel and couldn't fix it on time for this race. Kawe is in the pits. Let's take a look at... yeah, we can't look at own boy Ice Kart, because even despite he is the own boy for today's race, he's not really able to be racing after a collision between him and Black Reverse in the Force India. Black Reverse had already posted a flying lap, so he's still in 9th, but Ice Kart won't be able to improve from that 19th place unless someone gets a grid placement penalty. As we are now following Slime in the Williams, is another of our debutees. Is replacing Jensen's teammates, is replacing Dahl, so Dahl won't be able to get closer to his teammate here today, as he's missing this round of the championship. The German driver gets himself a rather slow line out of the bus stop chicane. And is he retiring? That was a bit weird. I'm not sure if he disconnected or what happened, but that is rather weird. And he's reversing. He might get disqualified. Did he miss the pit entry and he's trying to get it back, or he might get disqualified for that one? I think he missed his pit entry. He really risked getting disqualified. That one was very weird. But yeah, oh boy, there's Overspeed. Overspeed just retired. I thought he had manually retired. Looks like he crashed into the pit wall, and therefore that's why he's retired from the session. So unfortunately for the Hungarian driver, is out of today's session. As we have the second Force India of, I'm going to risk Diary. Yeah, it is Diary, the American driver. Got himself a 12th place in Hungary after a disastrous first lap incident. And he also retired at Germany. He didn't take part of any of our preseason races, so out of 2 races he hasn't scored any points. Hopefully he can improve his destinies and get himself some solid points today to get a kickstart to his form, get a good momentum into the next couple races. If he's capable of doing that, I'm sure he's going to be quite pleased with that one. Now, moving to some other drivers who might not be on a flying lap. We have the Finn of the McLaren. We have Kawei. He's going very slowly. I'm sure he's just preparing himself for the flying lap. Let's get himself on board with the McLaren driver as he gets a bit of oversteer on the exit of the bus stop chicane. Other than that, he was smooth on the power, managed to control that. And let's see how he does in this first corner, clipping the apex very nicely. Held it in second gear again. Some people like to go down to first, he opted to hold second, but very nice speed through the last source nonetheless. Now Eau Rouge tried to explore the curbs as much as he can. He got a bit wide through it. You try to straight line that corner as much as you can to get yourself as much speed as you can, but he missed the apex on the right hand side, and that's probably going to cost him the run, entirely into this section of corners. Is now going to start downhill at the beginning of the second sector, getting a bit of grass on the exits there as you get through Rivage. I believe this is holding third gear very nicely, smooth on the power as well, trying to explore the curb on the outside to get a better angle of attack into the corner with no name. Now Pujon, let's see how he attacks it. He could have taken a bit less, he could have turned in a bit earlier. I don't know if he got invalidated there. He went over the white line with all 4 tires, as we have a moment there between 2 drivers. I couldn't make out who that was. I think one of them was a Mercedes. As we're now entering the last sector, a bit wide through there as well after getting some understeer. He didn't brake for long enough, so he carried too much speed through there. Hopefully that lap wasn't invalidated. It isn't a perfect lap, but I'm guessing it's going to be very competitive. He's looking to improve on his 143.2 as we now look for just about 100 meters away from the right-left combination of the bus stop chicane. He's going to try to be smooth on the power. He does it very nicely up through the gears. The RS wide open, and he crosses over the line to a 142.8, which puts him up to P4. So good performance there from the Finn. Now let's take a look at Valu, as he's also on his flying lap. His teammate is right behind him, only 3/10, even less than 3/10. It's about 2.6 tenths exactly the distance between both Red Bulls. So Red Bulls haven't scored any points in this season so far. So hopefully they look on form to at least get a good qualifying. Let's see if that translates into a good result at the end of the race. Valu, the man we are following at the moment, is one of our reserves. JJS is the only full-time driver that's currently on the lineup for this race in the Red Bull garage. His teammate, unfortunately, isn't able to be with us today. But looks like Value is no slouch either. He's getting a very good performance so far. And we have lots of retirements. We have JJS retiring. We had Rat retiring. Maybe a crash? I don't know. It feels to me that's a bit too much of coincidence for it to be just simultaneous retirements without any collision. As Value crosses over the line, gets himself in P2. He won't be able to improve. Evil Kiwi currently has pole. Look at that. It was very, very close between Value and Kiwi. But he's going to, well, let's see how it's going to be. As Videoton crosses over the line, he can't better 11th place. He's going to have, at least at the moment, he has the best place for a good strategy. Of course, being in 11th, he's going to be able to pick a brand new set of tires no matter what strategy he's going for. Of course, it's always going to be a one stop. Either you start on the super softs or the softs. The only change is the lap you pit on. The super softs you have to pit at lap 6. The softs you have to pit at about 9 or 10 laps into the race and take the mediums until the end in both strategies. So it's always a one stop. Let's see how it goes as Evil QE improves to a 142.3 and gets himself virtual pole position. Let's move to Jensen as we are getting on the onboard of the Williams driver as he's about to finish this second sector. And again, very easy section from now on. It's all full power. Unfortunately, there's no DRS in this section, so you can't really get yourself even faster through here. Maybe if you have DRS through Blanchimont, it would be a bit of a courage game during qualifying. Maybe a bit dangerous for the race, but at least through qualifying, that could be interesting. And the Williams driver crosses over the line, and I can't quite see on his monitor in his ahead of his wheel. Oh, he got second place. So Jason was the last to cross over the line and gets himself P2. So he couldn't beat Evil Kiwi, who gets himself pole. Kiwi is having an amazing start of his season. Second place at Germany, his first win at Hungary. And yeah, he gets pole here today. Look at that. Just over a 10 separating the Toro Rosso and the Williams driver, with Value in P3, Zor in P4. So the three replacements, the three reserves that debut today, get themselves in 3rd, 4th and 5th. So very competitive drivers, as you guys can see. So there was still time left, but unfortunately we weren't able to see the full top 10 for qualifying, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just get ourselves through the loading procedures for everyone. And as you guys can see, he's absolutely pissing it down. As it's quite heavy rain. Again, I've been informed that it starts with heavy rain, then it goes to light rain, and then it's going to end up dry. So, of course, everyone who tried to start to qualify on the softs is quite missing out here today, as the starting tire doesn't really matter in terms of the qualifying performances. It's going to be full wets or maybe even intermediates for today's starts, no matter where you qualified or what tires you used. Obviously, it's a wet start as we have the lights going green for the formation lap. Everyone's lining up. As you can see, it's Evil Kiwi on pole here today. By the way, guys, let me know in chat what are your provisions for the race winner. Of course, Evil Kiwi looks like he's on a tremendous form for the past few races, but this is Spa, and obviously when you have a wet Spa, it's always unpredictable. Everything can happen, so let's see how that goes. Looks like Kiwi is getting himself a bit of distance, so even though he warms up his tires and brakes, he's going to have himself quite a few sitting time as he gets himself lined up on his slot at the grid, so everything is going to cool down for him. Let's see if that takes any effect into the tire and brake efficiency into the first corner, as they have Jensen in P2, Valu P3, Zor P4, Kawe P5, JJS in P6, Overspeed in 7th, and Chronicle Pug in 8 after finishing P2 last race. He doesn't have the best of qualifying performances. Let's see if he improves on that. Black Reverse in 9th, despite colliding with Ice Kart in qualifying. He still maintained a starting position in the top 10, and his teammates Diary completes said top 10. So yeah, there you have it. We couldn't see exactly the full qualifying performances during that menu, because everyone just skipped ahead quicker than what I was explaining. But there you have the starting grid for today. Bieliuk, once again, I was telling you guys, we know he has the talent, we know he can have a podium or even race-winning caliber on his talents in this game, but just couldn't get himself putting a lap together at this track. He's going to start in 13th behind the debutee Slime in the second Williams. So yeah, it's finally we are going to have a showdown between Jensen, that won every single race he took a part of, and Kiwi, who's been massively quick throughout the last couple races. It's going to be very, very interesting. I'm really excited to see a battle between the Dane driver of the Williams and the Sec driver of the Toro Rosso. Everyone is starting to get themselves lined up. I don't know if Evil Kiwi just disconnected or something. Maybe I just jinxed it. I wanted to see a race, so I don't know what happened there. Evil Kiwi's name is grayed out, but he doesn't it doesn't seem like he has been disqualified from the formation lap. So I don't know. Did he disconnect? That's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, we are going to jump to the race. Everyone is lined up. Let's see how it goes. As this is not helping me. As we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Belgium Grand Prix. Rat already jumped the start, is going to get the drive-through penalties. We approach turn 1, Evil Kiwi gets a good start. We have Jensen around the outside into turn 1. JJS got a good start. Kawaii already overtakes one of the Red Bulls up to P4, as we have chaos in the back of the pack. And as you guys can see, it's chaos throughout this section, as Jensen jumped Evil Kiwi at the exit of turn 1 up through Rouge and Radion. We have a Red Bull, we have I think it's JJS. Sorry, I'm going to try and take a look. It was one of the Red Bulls, JJS. He looks like he composed himself. How the hell did he not get himself a K-Mag moment? How is he not in the barriers after having that big of a moment into Eau Rouge and at the exit of Radion? How is he still in the top 10? That was absolutely amazing control, despite having that big of a tank slapper. Unless that was a lag moment for me, as the Red Bull driver goes on the inside of the Ferrari of Zor as they approached the Rivage. As we're getting now, as he has prime seat in the house for the battle between the Chronicle Pug and Value. The Chronicle Pug is going to be a sitting duck for JJS. Is JJS going to try and have a go at it? Very cautious there from Value. And JJS gets overtaking both of them as he gets a bit scrummy out. And there's a teammate collision and he's out of the race. JJS, what a range of emotions this man must be feeling at the moment. Both Red Bulls are out of the race in the opening lap. What the hell is going on for the start of the race? As you have Jensen leading, Evil Queen in P2, Kawe started in 5th, is up to P3, and the Chronicle Pug taking huge advantage of that, and is in the wall. Both Ferraris in synchronized collisions with the wall. Am I commentating cursing everyone around here? I don't know if this is even a word, as the Chronicle Pug just gave up on life and is in the wall. What is going on here today? Rolls-Royce, I'm pretty sure qualified outside of the top 10, and it just got overtaken by Leglaf. He's down to P9. He's coming back at the Irish driver of the Mercedes. Jensen crosses over the line with a 2-minute 7-second lap. He's the fastest lap, as he was the first to cross over the line after the standing start. As we have overspeed with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, as there's a collision between Overspeed and Fish, as they are both on the wall at the exit of the bus stop chicane. We have already 5 cars out of the race, 3 in the pits, as it's Zor, Rat and Bieliuk. Both Ferraris in the pits. Again, Bieliuk's luck goes from bad to worse. He's going to have to get stacked with Zor in the pits. Looks like Zor had been long gone, at least, so that's great. Let's move to the front, where there's a bit more stability, at least. Jensen is starting to pull away to Evil Kiwi, as you have a bit of a glitch there in the timings. Evil Kiwi is not that far away the Dane of the Williams. We have Kawe in P3, Noiderates, then we have Black Reverse and Diary, both Force Indias, started in 9th and 10th, and they are now 5th and 6th, as we are going to take a look at Black Reverse, as he was chasing Noiderate. Looks like through the corner with no name, Noiderate got a bit of an advantage, and now he pulled off a couple of car lines, so there's no danger of an overtaking attempt into Pujon. Going to take a look at Overspeed, as he got overtaken by the French Ferrari of Zor. So Overspeed, I don't know if he got damage. He looks like he does have the... Yeah, his front wing is basically destroyed, but he has to complete a lap because he got that damage after a collision with Fish, and that collision happened past the pit wall. So he has to do an entire lap like this before getting into the pits for a replacement of the front wing. Taking a look at Diary, who looks like he's very close. Wait, I have the information that he's 2/10 behind Never Lucky. So, not Never Lucky, sorry, Black Reverse. So I don't know if that's accurate. It doesn't look to me like it is. What I know is that Black Reverse didn't have the smoothest bus stop chicane, unfortunately for him. And hey Galactic, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. I don't do face cams when I'm commentating these races. Slime gets a 5-second stop and go penalty. Couldn't check the motive, as it went by rather quickly for me. Slime gets overtaken by Fish, and a leg left is just over a second behind Rolls Royce. Let's see how this battle for 7th place is going to develop, as I raise in the wall. I can't check where he retired. Oh my god, he's parked right in the middle. Hopefully no one gets a collision. He's parked right in the middle of the track at the beginning of the Camel Straight. Hopefully he's ghosted. I don't know. Fish went very slow through there to avoid any contact. And yeah, he's going side by side. Slime is going side by side with Zor. And Zor is going to take a move. He's going to be hopefully the last of the late breakers into Lecombe. And yeah, looks like that Williams has front wing damage. Zor very easily claims P9 from the German driver. He's still holding into top 10, but he is losing too much time. He has to get himself in the pits and repair that front wing. What a disastrous race from Diary. He was doing so well, starting in P10. He got himself to P6, and then he just crashed at the exit of Raidion. I don't know if he could have done anything. I don't know if he had contact with his teammate that was right in front of him. I don't know what happened there. I couldn't catch that, unfortunately, but it's a shame for the American driver out of the race so early in this race, as we are now following with the SEC driver of the Toro Rosso, as Jensen makes an uncharacteristic mistake. Oh my god, what a tank slapper. I'm pretty sure that was a bit of lag involved for me, a bit of desync there. But Evil Kiwi is thinking about having a look at Jensen. Jensen goes deep. Evil Kiwi breaks earlier, but locks up his inside tire compared to the corner, so he couldn't really take advantage of that. But Evil Kiwi, I'm sure, was able to go on the throttle earlier. Let's see who carries more speed. Jensen gets a bit wide at Eau Rouge. So Evil Kiwi had a very good run. Let's see, he's not going to be able to use DRS, but he has all the slipstream and possibly more engine power. Let's see who's using the rich mix and DRS and all that to get an advantage. The camera angle didn't help, as they are going side by side through Lecombe. And Evil Kiwi, what a good maneuver, man. What a great maneuver to get past the Williams driver, but he's not giving up. Jensen, the Dane, gets back at him to Rivage, a bit of a bump on the inside front wheel of Evil Kiwi to get himself back into first place. This, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be, if none of these guys have problems, Evil Kiwi has left the session. Oh my god, I'm really... Either people are disconnecting, as Zer looks like left the session as well. Either people are disconnecting because of the host, or I'm giving major commentator's curse to these people. Because I was just about to say, if none of these drivers has any issues, Evil Kiwi is going to have a battle for the ages with Jensen, and it just leaves the session. Fish has done the same. We have what? We have about 10 cars racing at the moment. Kawe is out of the race, unfortunately for him. He was running in the top 5 for most of the race, but I'm sure his teammate is not really going to complain. He gets himself in 7th place, as Slime just retired as well. So a crash for Slime. I'm going to check with Overspeed and see where everyone is having issues. Really, people were not prepared for the rain. Are not prepared for the rain as, yeah, there was a car just right there. I was looking at chat while he went through the car. I don't know whose car that was. Leglef has left the session. Yeah, I don't know who the host is, but the game is saying that he was migrating hosts. So yeah, we have, I don't know if we are going to restart the lobby or not. But yeah, it looks like, okay, I'm getting confirmation in chat. It looks like we are restarting the lobby. So, well, I apologize for this, but yeah, we are going to be restarting the lobby, because I don't know if it was the host having internet issues or what happened. But yeah, there was chaos there. Whew, just taking myself a deep breath, just waiting for people to invite me into the lobby. And phew, that was a chaotic opening laps. Heartbreak for the Red Bull boys. They were starting, both of them, if not in the top 5, close to the top 5, and both just crashed into the wall at the exit of Piron. JJS from 6th was getting to get P4 because he was getting to overtake Necronical Pug, as Necronical Pug got boxed in because Value was very, very careful into Piron, and even despite being careful, he understeered. I'm sure he was trying to give the space to prevent any contact in case JJS going for it into the corner. But yeah, JJS, instead of just taking advantage of that, he made a driver mistake. He lit up the rear tires and just spun and took out his teammate with him. Necronical Pug had an easy way. That's probably the easiest overtakes he ever done in his life. Just please, guys, just invite me so I can. Let me just take a look at this real quick. I'm just saying people in like the Steam chat to invite me to the new lobby. I gotta catch my breath because this was very, very chaotic. This was very, very chaotic. We even had someone get what's the name? Get a jump start penalty. It was one of the McLarens. I don't know who it was. Just getting footage of the ghosted car of Jensen getting into the pits for possibly a set of intermediate tires. But yeah, I don't know if the guys with the new lobby are going to be. I don't know if the guys with the new lobby are going to be recreating the climatic conditions of the race. So I don't know if we are going also to be. I'm sorry, I don't know what's protocol. I don't know if there's a protocol for these situations. Basically, it started like the 1998 race. Yeah, it did, right? It did start like the 1998 race. Not as many retirements, because that crash was after turn 1. Most crashes were spread out throughout the entire circuit. But yeah, very reminiscent of the 98 race. No red flag as well, because there's no red flags in this game. But yeah, hopefully we won't have qualifying. We are going to get race. We are going to replicate the qualifying of the previous qualifying session. So we are going to get right into it. I don't know if we are going to. Sorry, I don't know if we are going to replicate the weather conditions. I don't. If they knew exactly when the rain was going to start slowing down and all that, maybe they can replicate the conditions. But yeah. I muted everyone. I don't know who answered me, but I just muted everyone because Fish is Romanian. Yeah, we have a couple Romanian drivers. Double G, Fish's teammate, is also Romanian, but is not able to be here today. He got a malfunction with his wheel. He couldn't fix it on time for today's race. They should add red flag in 2019. They should have added it in, like, what was it, 2015? I think the red flag was removed in 2015. Since then, we don't have red flag, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, you guys can take a good introduction there. We have Leglaf as the only Irish driver here in this championship. Yeluk is the only Croatian and again he's having a bit of rotten luck throughout this season. He got solid top 5 in both Germany and Hungary, the first 2 races of this season. But as you guys saw there, he didn't qualify in the top 10, and I don't know if they're going to recreate the conditions, but it's going to be very chaotic. I know he has the caliber to get himself top 5s, maybe a podium, maybe a wheel, but unfortunately for him, he just didn't put it together so far. So you have JJS, the one full-time driver from the Netherlands, the one full-time driver of the Red Bull team here today, Diary, the American of the Force India. We have, by the way, I should go there and give you guys the rundown. Yeah, Williams. We have Slime. Where is? Oh my God! Did the other guy like just retire and leave the game alone, or is he having any issues returning to the lobby? I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I'm forgetting his name. Jensen. Yeah, that's right. Jensen is not back to the lobby. But yeah, we have Mercedes composed by Leglaf and Rat. Rat is one of the reserves for today's race. We also have Ferrari composed by Bialuk and Zor, another not only a reserve but a debutee in this championship, the French. Then you have Aston Martin between JJS and Value, Force India with Diary and Black Reversed Williams. It's not Lance Stroll, it's Jensen, who hasn't returned yet, and we have Slime as a reserve, also debutee. We have Noiderate and Ice Kart making up the lineup of the Renault Red Bull. Toro Rosso is composed by Rolls-Royce and Evil Kiwi. Both drivers are full-time drivers of this championship. In the Haas, we have Necronical Pug and Nico FCM. The Dane hasn't returned to the lobby. We have for the McLaren Fish and Kawe. We have Videoton and Overspeed, the all Hungarian lineup for the Alfa Romeo team. Rat, you are reserve. Why? That's interesting because the information I have is that the Mercedes lineup is composed by Leglaf and Racemaster. Is Racemaster your Discord name? Because if it is, I'm going to have to change it. It's just because some people have different names on Discords than they have on Steam. So it makes my job a bit harder, you know. Jensen isn't coming, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. I will go spectator mode, Ravex, but the race hasn't started yet. We had to reset the lobby because the host have a connection issue. So, yeah, unfortunately, Jensen looks like he isn't going to come. So, it's tough. It's unfortunate, man. It's very, very unfortunate as we're getting back and ready for the race. But it is very, very unfortunate. So Haas is going to take only one driver, and Williams are also going to race with only one driver. Jensen is going to be back. We aren't going to be able to see the Titan battle that would be Kiwi against the Dane. But well, that's how it goes. That's unfortunate. That's how it goes. Of course, people maybe they have appointments for doing stuff. After the race, and if there's any delays with the race, sometimes people just can't stay in the lobby. Maybe that's the case for the Dane, which is a shame, because he would have the unstoppable force in Evil Kiwi with all of his momentum meeting the unmovable object, since Jensen has been unmovable in the first place at the end of every race he's taken a part of. I was in spectator, wasn't I? Oh, so that's what Ray was talking about. I forgot to pick spectating. I'm going to retire. If I got a car or something, I'm going to retire from the race. Oh my god. Hopefully we got formation lap so I can retire from the race. That's what you were talking about, Ravex. I suck. I suck. I'm in a Williams. Can I retire? Oh my god. I'm starting in P17. We have formation lap, right? Please tell me we have formation lap so I can retire. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, when you said go spectator mode, I thought you were saying like for the race. Okay, this is a good start. This is a good start to things. And we are all migrating us again. Are we not capable to race today or something? I don't know. Everyone's having a moment. Time for the commentator to join into the action. If I had my wheel set up and if I was on the wheel, I could take part of the race, maybe. But I'm on a controller. I can't race. I can't even like drive and upshift and downshift on a pad, let alone let alone race. So yeah. Everyone is leaving the session. I think the host has problems. Uh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I guess people are going to try one more time. But yeah, I'm going to let you guys know if we are leaving leaving the lobby and restart. Restart number 3. Yeah, it's restart number 2. Yeah, overspeed. Thank you for the correction. And okay, we are going to get invited once again. This is a bit frustrating. I'm really sorry about that, guys. But yeah, the grid wasn't ready either. Oh, so people just got randomized placements. Okay, yeah. We should have reformed the grid. If you guys could go like into my stream if you need and pull back, because you can watch like with a delay, you can go back and watch the results. Just pause the game and go watch the results. I didn't go down, so I guess below 14th place people have to be honest and claim themselves the spot. But at least up until 14th, if you guys need to use my stream, you can go there and check the placements. Oh, you have the order? Okay, good to know. So yeah, looks like we're going to reform the grid. And in a moment, guys, I'm just going to grab a glass of water because my throat is getting a bit sore after all this action and all this downtime and me trying to commentate over the downtime. So I'll just get myself ready and give me less than 5 minutes. I'm going to be back rather soon. By the way, overspeed if you can, or someone if they can invite me to the lobby. Okay. Oh, that was great timing, Bialdiok. If you are listening to this, you are a G. As soon as I said that I wanted an invite, I'm going to. I got an invite. I'm going to grab a glass of water. I will be right back. Give me a moment.
I'm in the lobby already. What?
Tá bem, mas a retenção de público é melhor, né? Okay, guys, welcome back. I am back. Welcome once again to this third round of the WCR Championship. Yeah, right, Day? How's everyone's day been so far? But yeah, by the way, let me know how your day has been and let me know your predictions for the race win. Because once again, unfortunately, we won't have the championship leader to race today with us, unfortunately. But we are still going to, hopefully, be able to have a good race. Evil Kiwi, though, is in a serious risk of dominating. I don't know if the people in lobby... I guess the people in lobby are going to have to put him on pole, because I don't think there's a possibility of just getting a empty spot in pole position. So yeah, you support the Renault, Stormy? I guess you would. Yeah, not the best start, unfortunately, but hopefully things get smoother from now on. I don't know who is the host of the lobby, but usually you don't have any issues. It's the first time in all 3 races I've been commentating of this championship. It's the first time we had any issues with the lobby. So yeah, just getting ourselves. I'm just going to get ourselves in a good ambient. I'm going to get ourselves with some music, just of course non-copyright music, hopefully. But let me just real quick get ourselves some background music. And by the way, all the musics I use for these broadcasts, you can find them in the description. By the way, this song is called Everything is a John by Eva. If you want to know more about the artist and know more about the music itself, you have on the description on YouTube, of course. We don't have really description on Twitch, right? But yeah, that's how it goes, at least for the moment. I'm also going to get you guys with the drivers and constructors championship. As you guys can see, as we stand, we have Jensen as the championship leader, followed by his teammate Dahl, who is also not taking a part of this race. We have Evil Kiwi in 3rd place in the championship, 32 points back from the lead. Sorry about that, give me a moment. Just a bit too much hair on my stomach, I had to get it out. I apologize for that. As we have Noida in the best of the Renaults in 4th place, as we have Overspeed closing the top 5. The best of the Alfa Romeos has 27 points to his name. 3 points behind, we have the 2nd Hungarian. We have Tyser 22 in the 2nd Renault, as we have Black Reverse in 7th with 22 points. The same amount of points as Bieliuk in the best of the Ferraris. Then you have Nagy Gary, the best of our reserve drivers in the championship. He only took part of the first 2 races, I believe, but he still scored enough points to get himself in 8th. He scored enough points to be himself in 9th place, tied with Chronicle Pug with 18 points, as they both complete the top 10. Then you have Biff, Carpia, Rolls Royce, Videoton, Legla, Fish, Chrysalis, Osgur, Double G, who's unfortunately not with us today, and JJS15 is closing the pack. Now, moving to the constructors' standings. Give me a moment, hopefully I don't pick up the wrong thing in OBS. As there you have it, we have Williams leading the championship with 123 points, as Renault is in 2nd with 61 points, Scuderia Toro Rosso in 3rd with 43. They've been climbing the ranks very rapidly on the back, mostly on the back of Evil Kiwi's performances. It looks like everyone is starting to get ready, but as they do get through the loading procedures, we are getting ourselves through the Constructors' Championship. As you guys can see, we have Ferrari in 4th with 38 points, only one more than Alfa Romeo, as we have Force India in 6th with 24 points, Haas in 7th with 18, Mercedes in 8th, as the German team only has amassed 6 points so far. McLaren Renault is in 9th, as the Brackley base, sorry, not the Brackley, the Woking base team, Brackley is Mercedes. The Woking base team only scored 5 points so far, and Red Bull, despite looking like they are on form for a good performance here today, they haven't scored any points so far this season. Looks like their luck is about to change today. But if we go for about the start of the race, maybe they're just doomed to not score any points today. They had the double DNF in the same incident. Both teammates, they took out each other. I'm pretty sure it was by accident. JJS lost the rear at the exit of Pouon. He lost control and the teammate was right behind him, had nowhere to go, and both of them went into the wall. Both retired from that incident. But yeah, we are getting ourselves some more racing gear today at the mythical circuit, the Spa-Francorchamps. I'm going to close my Steam chat window. Just stopped the music there. I'm going to minimize OBS after. Of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging with the constructor standings in front of you. I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to get myself through the loading procedures. Hopefully, if no one gets us all held up. And we are already in the formation lap. That was a bit weird. Maybe it was because I was messing with all the windows. My game didn't come out of of loading, which was a bit weird. So yeah, as you can see, this is the order. As we have Kiwi, we only have 18 drivers today instead of 18, so a couple drivers dropped out, couldn't stay in the lobby. But yeah, we have Evil Kiwi leading, followed by Vayu with Zor in P3, Kawe in P4. By the way, as we are prepare ourselves, I'm going to get myself with the lap data. Maybe the lap data is not needed for this one, it's more needed for what's the name, for qualifying. But yeah, we're going to get a rundown as we have Kawe in P4 in the McLaren, JJS in the second Red Bull. Now they have a bit more cars separating them, so hopefully collision won't be on the cards for these drivers, as we have the best of the Alfa Romeos with overspeeds, trying to warm up his tires, almost lost the rear there, so pretty aggressive tire warming there from the Hungarian driver. He's even off track, he's all over the place, that's quite weird. As a Chronicle Pug in the Haas in 7th, Black Reverse and Irie 8th and 9th. Videoton is disqualified from this formation lap, is in 10th. Slime already also disqualified from the formation lap in 11th. As we have the second Ferrari of Bialuk in P12, Noiderate in 13th. Both Renaults qualifying outside of the top 10, even though Noiderate, he got himself 5th place at Germany, starting from below the top 10. So maybe he's a bit of a specialist in coming back from the pack. Let's see how that goes. Of course, he can't really make a less one pit stop strategy because it's going to be a one-stop strategy either way for this race. As we have Red 14th, Leglev in the second, Mercedes in 15th, Rolls-Royce, Fish and Icecart complete the grid. Getting back on the screens, the Czech driver of Evil QE, he has the red carpet right in front of him to take another race win. Hopefully, we have a bit more of a contest for the race, because we don't have the championship leader here today. I was expecting to see the huge battle that was going to be between QE and Jensen. Jensen is not here today, and I know I'm sick of saying this, but I really cannot believe we don't have that. Oh, well, that's how it goes. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The camera is not helping, but we have lights out, and away we go for this Grand Prix. As we have a good start from Zor. Value is already alongside him as we approach turn 1. Kawa is dropping to P5 as JJS is on his back. Kanye drops down to P5. You have a bit of cars going wide at La Source. Now everyone is going on a single file. Not many people are going to risk going side by side into the upcoming corners. We now get ourselves through the Camel Straight, I'm sorry about that, and Leglev made an amazing start. He got past one of the Force Indias, but Black Reverse breaks later as we have a battle there from Noiderate and Videoton for 11th place. We have also Diarrhea with a very bad start, starting in 9th, got himself down to P13 as there's a Williams in the wall. Yes, that was Slime, and he spins as he comes in the side pod of Fish. Oh my god, we have a Mercedes quite sideways there. It was Leglev as we have Black Reverse in 9th, Bialuk in 8th, the Chronicle Pug maintaining in P7 after swapping some positions. Evil QE on the softs is already pulling away. Looks like we didn't recreate the climatic conditions of the first race. Unfortunately for us, as the wet was going to increase to the spectacle, I am pretty sure of that. But yeah, Zor is starting on the super softs, is keeping himself with Evil QE for the moment. Is going to really have to make those super softs work, because it not only is going to have to be faster, to of course take advantage of the fact that he's on a faster compound, as he goes around the outside of the Czech driver into the bus stop chicane. Yes, the outside, but that's going to convert into the inside lane. He didn't get enough speeds through the transition there to contest Evil QE, and he's going to be able to he's not going to be able to get himself in first place. The number 13 is going to have to stay put for second place at the moment. As here we go again, we also have the Chronicle Pug overtaking Overspeed into P6. Azor is once again single file with QE for the lead of the race. Is he going to be able to overtake the Toro Rosso? The camera is not helping me. He's going side by side. Is he now? Oh, come on. The camera is really not helping me. God damn. The camera was trolling me there for a second, and the French driver of the Ferrari got himself past 2P1. Now let's see if Evil Kiwi is going to let him pull ahead, as Fish is retiring from the race. So there was a collision there, and he is out from the race. Icecart is in the pit going for a set of mediums. He's going to try to take those mediums until the end of the race. So yeah, Fish unfortunately is out of the race. Diary, Rolls Royce and Rat have also retired, unfortunately for those drivers. But it's going to be interesting to see the battle for the lead between these two. Of course, those are in different strategies. Now Zor is going to pit at about lap 6, and this is what it seems is interesting for me. Zor is going to pit at lap 6 and is going to switch onto a set of mediums. Of course, those mediums are slower in theory than Evil Kiwi softs, but those are going to be fresher. So this is a very long lap. The fact that you have fresher tires, despite being harder, the fact that you have fresher tires counts a lot. Even a 1-lap undercut can grant you at least 1 position. So a 4-lap, maybe 3 laps undercut is going to be quite interesting to see how it translates in terms of gap between those two drivers, as of course Evil Kiwi will have fresher tires towards the end of the race, but maybe the undercut will pull such a big gap that they won't be able to that the Toro Rosso driver won't be able to recover from that, as we had Vio de Ocon with a crash. I believe the RS is now enabled, sorry. And do we have the flap? Yes, we do have the flap wide open from the Czech driver. Is going to attack. The Ferrari is going to get around the outside as we approach Lecombe. Let's use the last of light breakers. The camera didn't necessarily help, as they are still going side by side to Lecombe. Let's see. There's no contact. Looked like a clean contest for first place, and Zor with an amazing display of defensive driving, claiming himself the opportunity to continue in first place. So Kawe was also in a bit of a scuffle with Valu and got himself in P3. So once again we have both Red Bulls quite wide there through the corner of No Name. They are quite wide through there, as they are both one right in front of the other. Hopefully we have no contact between these two drivers. It's going to be interesting though to see, as it looked like JJS was going on the inside of his teammate. There's contact there, there's no need to really attack through there, and JJS went into the back of Value and lost an end plate. And for me that is quite dumb, because there's no, why are you trying an overtake maneuver there? Is your teammate that slower? And yeah, there's the understeer, almost went into the wall and finished his race because of that. And we are going to have overspeed challenging now the Netherlands driver. I'm forgetting the word, as he gets himself past to P6. Noiderate overtook someone who just retired, who just got out of the race. Hey Lookout, welcome to the live stream. No, I'm not racing today, I'm only commentating. Whew, but yeah, JJS is in the pits. He's going to replace that front wing. That was quite dumb to challenge his teammate in the middle sector. There's not really much space in the middle sector. If he's that much faster, he can really just wait 3 or 4 corners and overtake him on the run to Blanchimont, or even wait and get him on the Camo straight with the aid of the RS. Zores pulled away. He's over 1 second away from Evil Kiwi, and Kiwi does not have the RS this time around. And yeah, Zor is going to have to really try to pull away and try to maximize the pace advantage of the super softs over the softs. So again, I've already explained how I found that dynamic interesting, and let's see what's the result of that in the laps to come. JJS is coming out of the pits on a set of mediums and is in the wall. Oh my god, this man's race is going from bad to worse. I don't know what happened, and he just retired from the race. I have no idea what happened. Maybe he lost the rear through Eau Rouge. But we guys only saw him across... we only saw him across the screen there, as he's out from the race. 12 drivers remaining at the moment. Icecard has already pitted twice. He's taking a set of mediums to the end. That's very, very unfortunate from JJS, but I'm going to say, I believe he created his own demise. So, yeah. WCR Slime had a half spin, that's why the Renault went past him. We can see on the comments, so thank you for that information. Hey Fly Wings, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing, man? But yeah, taking a look, just scanning the gaps across the pack. Zor pulled only 2 tenths away from Evil Kiwi, so yes, oh my god, Leglev retired from the race. I believe he's crashed out, unfortunately, from the Mercedes driver. The Mercedes aren't going to score any points today, unfortunately for them. So that's how it goes. Once again, the Mercedes team doesn't score any points. But yeah, taking a look at value, is the closest to another car out of the pack. Is the only driver that has a competitor under 1 second. Is going to have DRS, slipstream and everything he wants, fuel modes, battery modes, but he decided to be very careful. He did not have a go at the Hungarian driver of the Alfa Romeo team, as Bieluk overtook Slime. Oh, that's because Slime is in the pits. Okay, I thought it was a on-track battle. So yeah, Slime is in the pits, Black Reverse is in the pits as well. Slime got himself a set of softs, or is that a graphical glitch? No, it looks like he's on the softs. Black Reverse is in the pits for a set of mediums. Let's jump back to the battle between Value and Overspeeders. Looks like there might have been contact on the approach of Piuhon, but these two drivers, at least so far, they haven't gotten involved in any incidents. JJS went into the back of his own teammate, but that was a JJS's fault in my opinion. Oh, that was a bit wide through there. I'm sure that's going to be a warning for track extending. But let's see how it goes. He's the only driver again that is in a position to create an overtaking maneuver. Even though he lost a couple tenths throughout this lap, maybe Overspeed has a bit more downforce, or at least he looks like he's a bit more comfortable on his pace throughout the middle sector today. So let's see how that goes. Let's see if Value's superior top speed is going to be the difference maker, or if Overspeed's agility and prowess through the middle sector is going to keep him ahead of the driver in 5th place. Let's see, the DRS wide open once again. That straight is too short. So the run down into the first corner is too short if you are over 2 tenths behind the car in front. He doesn't really have an opportunity to create something there. But Value has been losing time throughout this through the entire past lap and through this first sector as well. Despite him having DRS and slipstream and all that, he's really not closing in that much throughout the lap overall. In fact, I'm risking to say that he has been losing time throughout the entire lap. Yes, he closed back in to Overspeed, but he looks like he's not as comfortable in the dry as he was in the wet, at least until he got crashed by his teammate in the first race. Fortunately for him, he had another chance. Fortunately, some people have some issues with their internet. We restarted the lobby and he finds himself in P5. Zor, we are at the end of lap 6. I believe Zor is going to be pitting quite soon, so let's follow with the Ferrari driver and we are just going to see what's going to happen. This is an interesting camera. I've actually never seen that camera angle before. That looks a bit cool. But yeah, so while we are waiting for him to come into the pits, as Black Reverse overtakes Ice Cart, who has 4 pit stops, which is a bit surprising. Maybe that's a glitch, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a bit of a glitch. Bieluk also with... Sorry, that's not stops, those are laps. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm getting confused to that, sorry about that. I should go and take a look, as Icecart got a 3-second time penalty for extending the track limits. But yeah, everyone is on 1 stops, apart from Black Reverse, who has stopped twice so far. Everyone in the top 7 have not dived into the pits yet, so that's going to be interesting. Also interesting, Zor has not pitted at the end of lap 6, so he has been losing time to Evil Kiwi. At the end of lap 3 it was a 1.2 seconds. Looks like they are currently at the same pace. Zor, I would recommend Zor to pit right about now. It looks like he's been taking good care of his super softs, but the undercut is very powerful around here, so I would actually recommend that he pitted at the usual 6th lap of this Grand Prix, because I don't know how much laps the medium tires last, but I do believe whatever is the lap you pit in, you are going to always be able to take the mediums until the end. Of course, in better condition than others, depending on where you pit, but you can still take them to the end. Evil Kiwi has been very fast, yes. But Zor taking the undercut, I would say that would be beneficial. He lost about 2 to 3 tenths in this lap so far, so Evil Kiwi's tires are getting in better condition than Zor's. Again, Zor is on super softs, Evil Kiwi is on the softs. Looking back to the battle for 4th place, Value is still not getting closer, despite getting the benefits of the RS and the slipstream and all that throughout the race. He hasn't... Oh boy, is Zor... Yes, Zor is in the pits and he clipped the wall. I can't see if he got wing damage. The Slime gets a 3-second time penalty for extending the track limits. I can't see if he got wing damage there. The camera angle doesn't help me. And it looks like he didn't get any service in the front wing. This is a great shot though, and it doesn't look like he got front wing damage despite clipping the outside wall on the pit entry. He's going to come out of the pits, apparently in P6. Yeah, his teammate is quite a ways away, so yeah. And Value is in the wall! Value retired from the race. What a disastrous race from him! And yeah, that was at Eau Rouge. I'm guessing the tires are coming out. I don't know how aggressive the ballasts... I don't know how aggressive these guys have set up their cars in terms of the ballast. But yeah, looks like his car got unstable through Eau Rouge and he got himself a K-Mag moment. Got himself on the wall. No, either way, he started the race outside of the top 10. But I'm pretty sure he's just going to say thank you very much as he makes his way up to P4. He still has a bit of work to do if he wants to get on the podium. He is just under 9 seconds of overspeed. But if anyone is capable of getting that podium position, that's going to be Noiderate, that's going to be Bieluk, because he has the pace, even though he's very, very far behind. He got involved in some incidents at the beginning of the race, but yeah, let's see how that goes. Zor, of course, he has been no slouch so far. Of course, he had softer tires, but he still kept up with Evil Kiwi, so... Evil Kiwi's pace is very, very strong, but it's not like Zor is any slouch, right? He's shown that he has good pace and is at least podium finisher caliber in this championship. It's going to be exciting to see how his championship progresses. This has been his first race. He's on pace for, at minimum, a 2nd place finish. So let's see how that goes for him. As none of the soft tires have pitted yet, we have Necronical Pug overtaken by Black Reverse. I don't know. I think he has damage. He's going very slowly. Did he disconnect? Is he ghosted? It doesn't look like it, but it looks like he's missing a couple end plates. So, yeah, he's missing a couple end plates on the right side of his front wing. So he's going to nurse his car into the pits, hopefully, and get himself a change of tires as Icecard went past him. Now, moving up the order, we have Zor less than a second from Noiderate. It's going to be interesting to see how this one evolves. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly can Zor overtake Evil Kiwi. By the way, let me just compare, as not much is happening on the track at the moment. You know what, I'm going to let Zor overtake Noiderate, and I'm going to check that after the overtaking maneuver is done. Because I want to check what is the race pace at the moment between Zor and Evil Kiwi. I would like to know how much time is the Frenchman gaining on the Toro Rosso driver. That's going to be interesting to watch. I'm going to go to pause and race director and check the lap times after this battle between Noiderate and Zor. If Zor doesn't overtake him, he has fresher tires. He's going to get a better exit out of this turn number 15, I believe it is. If he doesn't overtake into Blanchimont, he's probably going to overtake into Lecombe, or maybe even before Eau Rouge. Let's see how that goes. Into the bus stop chicane, he tries to outbrake Noiderate, the 13 versus the 33, and he gets in the inside, gets better traction, taking use of his superior tires. Looks like there was a moment of a lag for Noiderate as he gets by, and we have Evil Kiwi on the mediums. And it's going to take him to the end. Yeah, I've only now realized Zor is on the softs, so he's going for a 2-stopper. This is interesting. This is rather interesting, as Bieluk gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I don't think the 2-stop is the way to go, unless he can take softs until the end. He was able to extend by at least a lap on the super softs. I don't know if he's going to be able to take softs until the end. If he does, props to him. That's very good tire management from him. but I'm still going to be surprised, very surprised if he ends up doing it. Evil Cree came out of the pits in P3 right behind, right ahead of Noiderate, so that one's going to be interesting. Maybe Noiderate can try to keep up with Kiwi despite having worse tires in terms of condition. Those are softer, so let's see how that goes. But while we are at it, let me take a look at the race director. And can I take a look at his lap time? So he was in the mid to low 147s in terms of race pace, I would say. He got a warning on his fastest lap, so yeah, take that with a pinch of salt. And Azor was on the low 146. Yes, that was his bad lap time, but at least high 46, low 47s is what he's doing. So he gained a bit of time on Evil Kiwi. So let's see how that goes. Diary leaves the session and Slime also retires. That's unfortunate. But yeah, we only have 9 drivers at the moment. The Chronicle Pug in a moment is going to get promoted to P9. We have some cars in the pits. We have Kawe. Well, okay. That was... I don't know if that was lag on my end or on his end. But he's currently in P3. I don't know if he's going to get overtaken. Overspeed overtakes Noiderate as he has pitted a couple laps ago. Noiderate is going to bolt on a set of the medium tires and is going to get to the end of the race with them. Icecart also retired, unfortunately for him. So yeah, we just have 8 cars racing. This has been a disaster for some of these drivers here today. So yeah, wow. Wow, I have no words about the amount of retirements today. I don't know if it is about internet connection, because of course this is the second time we had to restart the lobby because of connection issues. So I don't know if the host just has an unstable internet connection today, or if people are just crashing left, right and center, because we have only 8 cars racing at the moment. Scanning down the order and the gaps, we see Bieluk is less than a second away from Black Reverse. Of course, Bieluk, he had a very bad opening laps. He got himself in the pits for a replacement of the front wing, and he just pitted again for a brand new set of mediums. There's a bit of weaving from Black Reverse as he's trying to delay the undelayable, if that's a word, as the Ferrari gets himself to P6 on much fresher tires than those that Black Reverse, homeboy of this race, as on his Force India. There might have been contact as Bieluk got very, very deep through Rivage, and there was contact between Bieluk and Black Reverse, or at least I saw a bit of carbon fiber flying. Taking a look, let me try to take a look at Black Reverse's car, and yeah, it does. I think he's missing a couple end plates on the left front. Yeah, that left side looks a bit too simplified for my liking, as Bieluk gets himself a 3-second time penalty for extending track limits. Again, this is a very interesting camera shot. I've never seen this before. Maybe it's exclusive to this track, I don't know. But let's see how that goes. The gap is now 3 seconds, but 3 seconds between Zora and Evil Kiwi as we get ourselves back into the leadership of this race. As you guys can see, Zor is going to take a 2-stopper today. Super soft, soft to super soft. That's what I think, at least. I think he has to do, in terms of pace, I think he has to do a bit better than this if he wants to get himself the win. Because if he's going for a 2-stopper, unless I'm just talking a load of BS and he's not going for a 2-stopper and he has amazing tire conservation skills, even better than mine, he is not doing well enough to pull away from Evil Kiwi in terms to avoid Kiwi winning the race. Of course, once Zor pits, and again, I'm assuming Zor is going to pit for a set of super softs, Evil Kiwi will be on a used set of mediums. So it's going to be brand new super softs against old mediums. The thing is, what if Zor is going to get a set of super softs, gets up to Evil Kiwi, but then doesn't have any life on his tires to make the overtaking maneuver on Evil QE. That's what I'm afraid of if Zor is going for a two-stopper. If he's not going for a two-stopper, I think Evil QE will bridge that 3-second gap very easily once his mediums start getting in better condition than the softs of Zor. Of course, as you guys can see, Zor is on the softs, but they are older. Not only they degrade quicker, but they are also older. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see towards the end of the race. We have Kawe. He has been quite alone, quite a lonely race for the debutee. The Finn is currently in third place, 5 seconds from Evil Kiwi. He might actually end up in P2 if Zor has any malfortunes, or if his tire life is not good enough. He got a bump there at the exit of the no-named corner, at least that's how I call it. It's interesting for me, like, that's the name of the corner for me, which is kinda ironic, but whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. If that corner actually has a name, correct me, please. As Overspeed got a 3-second time penalty. Noiderate is 16 seconds behind him, so it's going to be interesting to see if Noiderate can get within 3 seconds to claim P4. But yeah, the Finn has been rather discreet. I think that's a good word to describe his race. He had a clean start. He started from P4, I believe. He lost a place to Valu as the Finn from the Red Bull got past him in the opening corners of the race. But he didn't make any mistakes. He kept his nose clean, he kept himself out of issues, and yeah, it doesn't look like he has the pace of Evil QE. Maybe not even the pace of Zor, but Zor is on an alternate strategy, so that's up to discussion, perhaps. But yeah, Kawe has been doing very well and looks like he's going to claim a podium in his debut. He's not the best of the debutees though, because Zor, for those of you that don't know, the Frenchman, is also debuting this race. He's leading the race on his debut. Let's see how that turns out from him. If he's going on a on a one-stop, that's a bold strategy from super softs to softs. If he's going on a second stop, on a two-stop strategy, that might backfire on him, even though he could get a set of super softs. Evil QE is already catching up to Zor, so the tire condition is not on Zor's favor at the moment. Evil QE is very consistent, very strong pace from the Czech driver, and it's been closing in bit by bit on Zor. Let's see how that goes. Moving down, sorry, wrong button. Moving down the order to Noiderate. He started from 13th. He kept himself clean, got himself up to P5. Is Kawe on softs or mediums? I think he's on mediums. Does he look on... Oh, he's on softs on the screen. No, I think that's a visual glitch. He's on the mediums. Yeah, he's on the mediums. Noiderate started in P13. Oh, 5 seconds stop and go penalty for Zor. Where did he corner cut? Did he corner cut the chicane? Maybe he extended. Maybe he extended at the exit of... what's the name? Of Blanchimont. Maybe he extended at the exit of Blanchimont. And yeah, that's a 5 second stop and go penalty for the Frenchman. That's going to take a knock at his chances of winning this Grand Prix, as we have lots of debris through Eau Rouge. As we've had at least two DNFs in this race at that corner. Unfortunately, that's how it goes for him. As we are taking, as I was on a bit of a rant about the noise rate. It started in P13 once again, and this is looking quite reminiscent of Germany. Germany, he also started from the back of the pack. Of course, that race was affected by rain. This one doesn't look like it's going to be. And oh boy, that was a bit of a lag moment there, at least on my screen. I don't know if it actually was laggy for him or if it's on my screen and my connection, but the number 33 is also losing time to overspeed, so despite having a 1 lap fresher tire, is not really closing up to 4th place. So looks like despite starting on the top, outside of the top 10, he's going to claim himself a spot in the top 5 at the end of the race. Lucian thinks Zor will win. I don't know, man. I think Zor is on an optimal strategy, as Belgium gets at least a 3-second penalty. So, if it takes enough, Black Reverse might actually claim that 6th place from him. So he has to be careful, that Ferrari driver. But let's see how that goes. I think Zor is not going to win this race. That's my hot take. Because if Ilkiwi doesn't have to pit until the end of the race, Zor does need to pit until the end of the race. Unless he's just taking the softs until the end. Which I don't... Can the softs last 15 laps? When you put it... Okay, 15 laps doesn't sound as much. But when you take into consideration that this is over 7 kilometer lap, 15 laps is a long time. Right? So... yeah, it's over 100 kilometers until the end of the race. So let's see how his tires hold up through all that distance. Let's see how his tires hold up. But yeah, not much at the moment. Well, let me guys know. I've seen some people rooting for Zora. I've seen some other person in chat rooting for Noiderate. Do you guys think it's going to be between Zor, or do you guys think it's going to be Zor winning, Evil Kiwi in 2nd and Kawe in 3rd? Or, because like, Zor has a 5-second stop and go penalty. If he goes into the pits again, he might actually lose 2nd place from Kawe. Because, again, he got a 5-place stop. Was it stop and go penalty or just added time penalty? I actually don't remember anymore. But I believe he extended at the exit of Blanchimont. Because usually you don't get a 5-second penalty. So, yeah, Evil Kiwi has been gaining time. It's been just a couple tenths every now and then as we get a fastest lap from Zor. So, looks like he's bound to shut me up. So, it was stop and go, Eddie? Okay, thank you for the information. It was a stop and go. So, if Zor wants to pit again, he has to deal with a 5-second stop and go penalty. If it doesn't pit, I'm not sure. I think that if you get a stop and go penalty and don't pit, that penalty gets duplicated. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that in this game, if you do not serve a stop and go penalty, the time penalty gets duplicated. So it might actually be... what's the word? A 10-second penalty for the French driver of the Ferrari. Yes, LGS, as you point out in a chat, Red Bull have 0 points in this championship, and with the DNF of both JJS and Valu, they won't be scoring any points today. Ice Carts and Slime, despite DNFing, are going to score points today. Lucky enough. But yeah, if he doesn't serve the stop and go penalty, he's going to get 5 seconds penalty anyways. But I don't know if he's going to get just a 5 second added time to the end, or because he didn't serve the 5 second stop and go, that gets duplicated and he actually gets 10 seconds added into the end of the race because it was an unserved stop and go penalty. That's what I'm not sure of. Maybe I'm just talking a load of BS, but I think that if he doesn't pit, it's going to get not only a 5 second added to his finishing time, but also another 5 seconds because he didn't serve the stop and go penalty on a stop and go, on a pit stop. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. Let me know if I'm correct or not. Evil Kiwi has lost a couple tenths to Zor. I don't know if it was Zor's pace or if it was Evil Kiwi making any sort of mistakes. I think Evil Kiwi at this moment is leading the Grand Prix, because Zor has a 5 second stop and go penalty on him. So if he crosses the line in first without pitting, he has a 5 second stop and go, so he's still in second place, and if he pits he's going to have to deal with that stop and go penalty. So yeah, either way, at the moment, Evil Kiwi is in the de facto lead of the race. So it's going to be interesting to see. We have still sorry, not 7. Where are my math skills? I swear to God, I was a straight A student in maths, but well, that's how it goes. We have 4 laps to go as Bielu crashed out. Wow, let me take a look at Necronical Pug. Let me see. And yeah, Necronical Pug is ghosted. I think he's still going to claim 8th place at the end. I don't know. But Bialyuk, let's take a tour around Spa. A rather slow tour on board with Necronical Pug. To see where Bialyuk crashed out. Maybe his car is already disappeared by the time we get to him. But... yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think he has just the car has despawned. So yeah, unfortunately, we are going to be able to see where Bialyuk retired this car. Unfortunately, so we have only 6 laps to go in this race. Evil Kiwi gained 5 tenths on Zor through the last lap. I think Zor is going to take those softs to the end. Kawe, if he's just a bit quicker, if he ups his pace. But yeah, he would have to gain 4 seconds on Zor. I don't see Kawe claiming 4 seconds on Zor in the last laps. He's going to have better tires, but I don't see him claiming 4 tenths on Zor. So, yeah, if Kawe was 4 seconds quicker until the end of the race, he could actually claim P2. But as it stands, Zor needs to find 3 seconds. It's actually not 3 seconds because it's 2.8. It's a bit more than that, but yeah, he needs to find himself some speed to get himself the win. So let's see how that goes, as we have Black Reverse spinning at the exit of Pouhon. Fortunately for him, he didn't crash out. That's actually the nicest thing about all this. He's not going lower than 6th place, because Necronical Pug is out of the race, and Bialyuk has retired as well. So he's not going lower 6th place. So at least he can recollect himself, maybe go to the pits and get a front wing replacement if that's what he needs. But someone is going very slow. I'm going to check up on Black Reverse, and he's all over the place at the moment. He might actually end up being, sorry, wrong button. He might actually end up being a bit of oh yeah, that he needs his front wing. Yeah, that's not going to create any downforce to these cars, and he just went very wide there. He's lucky he didn't get the penalty for extending the track limits there, and I don't know how we didn't lock up. But the number 13 of the Force India is getting to the pits, almost bumped the outside wall there, and I think he complied with the speed limiter, or with the speed limit, and he's going to get a replacement of wing. Let's just see how that goes. Yeah, of course, he's going to get a set of super soft tires, just going to try and claim the fastest lap. In this championship, we don't have fastest lap points, but I mean, if he wants to get the bragging rights for that fastest lap, he can at the moment. So yeah, Noid Rate, checking up on him, he's been losing time to overspeed, so unfortunately for him, he's not going to have any chances at contesting for 4th place. So he's going to get in 5th, but since the start of the season, he hasn't finished. Sorry, I'm wrong. Since the start of the season, he did not start the first race. He got 12th place at Silverstone, but in the past 2 races, he hasn't finished below 5th. He finished 4th at Germany and 5th at Hungary. So another 5th place. At least he's been consistently in the top 5. And sometimes these championships are not really about who's the fastest, but more about who's the most consistent, right? Doesn't matter. For example, Jensen. It doesn't matter that every race he starts, he wins, at least statistically. He's not starting this race, and he's not getting dethroned by Evil Kiwi, rather. But Evil Kiwi is going to get himself within striking distance. He's going to get him in less than 15 points, I believe, from the lead of the championship. So if Jensen doesn't show up for the race after this one, he might be in a bit of an issue. Let's see how that develops throughout the season. But again, it doesn't matter as much how quick you are, as much as how consistent you are. Because, again, if you don't show up, doesn't matter how many races you win. If you don't show up enough times, you won't win the championship. But yeah, moving to overspeed again is not really catching up to Kawaii. Everyone is very far apart, not really any chances of positions getting traded at the moment. Unfortunately, for my job as a commentator, this is making things harder for me, but well, that's what I have to live with sometimes. As we are moving to Evil Kiwi, as Black Reverse got a 5-second stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It is back in the pits for some reason. And Evil Kiwi is less than a second away from Zor. The difference in tire wear is really making itself show at the moment, and Evil Kiwi, despite having the win in the bag, because of the 5-second stop and go penalty from Zor, Evil Kiwi, I'm pretty sure he wants to get the bragging rights of claiming first place on track. I'm pretty sure he's fine with getting the first place off of a time penalty, but he's really closing in fast. So that's how that goes. He just got the fastest lap of the race as we open the last lap of the race, as we are getting through the race director. I'm going to check real quick the pace, as he's on low 147s to high 146s. At least he's being very consistent. But Evil Kiwi, look at that. His last lap was more than half a second quicker than Zor's last lap. So as you guys can see, that Toro Rosso is very fast at this stage in the race, and the gap is still over 1 second, but because of the tire wear, I'm guessing Evil Kiwi will have a much better time navigating through these twisty second sectors. Black Reverse got another 3-second time penalty. Is he trying to lose a lap on Mechanical Pug in penalties alone? I'm not sure. Hey Stamp, welcome to the live stream. Can you join, or is this a championship yet? This is a championship I'm commentating at the moment. So if you look up WCR, you might sign up if you want, and hopefully have a chance at racing. But yeah, at least today you can't join today. But there you have, Zor is right on the sides of Evil Kiwi, as Zor gets a bit squirmy out of that. Oh my god, that was very close between the rear end of the Frenchman and Evil Kiwi's front end, and he gets it done under racing on track. He got past Zor, but I'm sure Zor wants to claim a bit of pride. Oh boy, he's braking on the grass, and that was always going to be less braking traction, as this is it, lads. Evil Kiwi is going to cross over the line to take the win of this Belgium Grand Prix. Zor is going to come home in P2. Kawe is going to finish in P3 at the moment, as we have neither rate, as we have the Mercedes crossing over the line in P3. We have Overspeed getting himself in 4th. Neither rate started 13th. He probably didn't have to work too hard because of everyone's DNFing, but he's going to claim himself a 3rd top 5 finish in a row, as the number 33 just has the bus stop chicane to navigate until the end of the race. A bit of a lockup, but it's going to be nice and easy over the line for a 6th place finish. Chronicle Pug, a couple laps down, got himself in P7, so he's... yeah, Black Reverse is really the last one to cross over the line. I believe Bialuk, Ice and Slime, despite DNFing, are going to claim points finishes at the end of this race, fortunately for them. But yeah, Black Reverse maybe is going to try and get the fastest lap of the race. Let's see how it goes, as we are getting through this right-left combination. Then you have another double right to finish the 2nd sector. And there he goes. He could have taken a bit more to the inside to maximize speed, as he's using, I'm pretty sure he's pacing as it was a qualifying lap, using ERS to the maximum. And there you have it, looking for the 100-meter marker board for the heavy braking zone into the bus stop chicane. Very easy, clipping the left apex and, the right apex and the left apex. It's going to cross over the line. And I don't know if that was the fastest lap, but he gets home in P6. And this is it for today. So let's just get ourselves with the podium. It's going to be the celebration for Evil Kiwi, as the Czech driver from the Toro Rosso claims the 3rd podium in as many races and the 2nd race win in a row. So, of course, he has left the session, but hopefully we can still get through the loading procedures for everyone and get on the podium. So yeah, there you have it. It's the Czech on 1st place, followed by the Frenchman in 2nd. He battled valiantly, but that 5-second penalty killed all his chances at taking a win today, as we got the Finn. So 2 debutees on the podium here today, as I forgot his name. It was Kawe. Kawe gets himself P3 for the McLaren team. So yeah, just taking a look at the complete standings. I'm sure you guys have been able to see that. Let's take a look at that. It is Kiwi in 1st. Only 2 drivers out of the ones that finished the race, Kiwi and Neudeweit, didn't have time penalties at the end. As we have Zor P2, Kawe P3, Overspeed P4, Neudeweit P5, Black Reverse, and Chronicle Pug, Bialuk Scar, and Slime completing the top 10 as the time is running out. I'm sorry I can't give you the entire rundown of the pack. I'm just going to scroll down for my purposes of editing the standings. As this is it, guys, for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is, as always, right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. If you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, a follow would be greatly appreciated. Hope to see you guys next time, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.